Shooting victim gets colourful farewell. Prime Ministers of New Zealand and Italy quit. I'm Desiree Gasper with top news of the day brewed especially for you. He made it his life's work to make people happy, but it was difficult for anyone to hold back tears as family and friends bid goodbye to Choi Hon Ming, the professional clown who died after being hit by a stray bullet in Penang on Thursday. Fellow clowns did magic tricks, made balloon animals and performed other acts while reminding the crowd that Choi, also known as Mr. Potato, would have loved it if they kept smiling.
And remember, Choi is always with us. When we think Choi is with us, he will show you some magical. I love you, Choi Poo! Yeah!
Choi's wife, Sun Siu Chin, in her eulogy, described him as a wonderful man and expressed her pain at having to bid goodbye to him in such a manner. During the funeral, 32 colourful balloons were also released to mark Choi's age, and cheerful music was played throughout the ceremony held at the Bukit Gantung Crematorium. In another part of town, groups gathered to mourn the death of businessman Dato' Ong Teck Kwong, the intended victim of the shooting on Thursday. Ong was shot dead by his bodyguard, who later went amok and fired additional shots which killed 3 others, including professional clown Choi. The sound of drums drowned the prayers and rituals, with many arriving as early as 8 a.m. for the procession to the Leong San Tong Ku Kong Si funeral parlour in Bandar Baru, Air Itam. Police have urged the public to stop speculating, saying that the shooting was an isolated incident triggered by a mentally unstable person. In the meantime, police are in the midst of identifying the suspects who whipped a heavily tattooed man at a funeral parlour in Penang last Friday.
Yes. Kalau kita tengok dalam video yang viral tu, bukan melibatkan dia satu orang. Yang menyerang tu banyak orang. Yeah? So definitely there will be more arrests to be made. Satu, kerana mendatangkan kecederaan kepada mangsa. Dua, kita juga melihat kegiatan mereka di dalam kegiatan-kegiatan kongsi gelap dan gangster, dan apa juga kesalahan yang berkaitan dengan.
The Deputy IGP added that police could even make the arrest under the Prevention of Crime Act 2013 or POCA. The 47-year-old victim was flogged for allegedly insulting Gang 24 leader Dato' M or Ong Teck Kwong on Facebook. Only one man has been arrested so far. Following Al Jazeera's investigation into the underground baby trafficking trade, the Deputy IGP said several arrests have been made.
Kita ada tangkapan, kita ada serbuan, saya ingat 5 buah klinik, salah saya. Ya, memang kita telah pun mengambil tindakan dan telah menangkap beberapa ahli-ahli, beberapa kita percaya ahli syndicate atau pekerja dengan syndicate tersebut yang dapat membantu siasatan polis. So saya tidak menolak mungkin ada tangkapan dan serbuan dan tangkapan lanjut.
He also confirmed Al Jazeera's report that the syndicate is a network of traffickers, doctors and government officials.
Tashi, maksudnya laporan Al Jazeera tu betul lah?
Yes, betul. Betul, memang ada asas lah laporan Al Jazeera. Dan sebelum ini pun kita pun telah membuat beberapa tangkapan kaitan dengan syndicate yang di mana ialah salah seorang mereka yang mengandung ini. Dia pertamanya dia terima orang ni untuk melahirkan anak. Kemudian anak tu dijual kepada orang lain.
The documentary ad on November 24th exposed an underground trade where babies are commodities worth thousands of ringgit. Caught, beaten and tied up. That's what happened to a snatch thief who was apprehended by members of the public in Seremban on Sunday. A video of the incident has been widely shared on Facebook. According to Seremban District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Teo Hock Po, the suspect, together with another man not seen in the video, alighted from a motorcycle and attempted to steal a chain from a woman's neck in front of a supermarket at Jalan Yam Tuan. As he was attempting to flee, his accomplice lost control of the vehicle and the two were caught and publicly shamed. Teo said both men, aged 26 and 27, are being remanded to facilitate with investigations. MIC President Datuk Sri Dr. S. Subramaniam has downplayed UMNO's rally for the Rohingya with PAS, saying it was not a sign of warming ties between the two parties. The Health Minister said the rally did not signal a new alliance between UMNO, who shared a stadium and stage with the Islamist opposition party.
Isu Rohingya ini dia mesti diberi sebagai satu pendekatan barisan nasional, bukan seperti yang telah diberi gambaran seolah-olah ini adalah satu kerjasama di antara UMNO dan PAS di atas pentas agama. Kerana pendirian saya dan pendirian MIC, kita mesti menyuarakan pendirian kita terhadap apa-apa penganiayaan yang berlaku di mana-mana tempat di dunia, tak kira keturunan kumpulan-kumpulan tersebut.
Meanwhile, in Yangon, about 150 people led by Buddhist monks from the Nationalist Monk Association protested against the Prime Minister after he called for foreign intervention to stop the genocide of the Rohingya.
Rohingya ဆိုတာမြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာတစ်ခါမှမရှိခဲ့ပါဘူး။ဒီ Rohingya မရှိပါဘူးဆိုတာကိုရှိပါတယ်လို့သူတို့ဘက်ကနေဝန်ကြီးချုပ်ကိုယ်တိုင်ဆန္ဒပြတယ်ဆိုတော့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံကိုစော်ကားလိုက်တာ
At the rally on Sunday, Najib called on the UN, the International Criminal Court and the OIC to intervene in Myanmar's bloody crackdown in Rakhine State that has sent thousands of Rohingya fleeing, many with stories of rape, torture and murder. Separately, the Sharia Court of Appeal in Kuala Lumpur dismissed Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's application for a review of his Qazaf application against his former aide Muhammad Saiful Bukhari Azlan. Counsel for the former opposition leader Dr. Rafi Muhammad Shafi told reporters that they will be filing an appeal with the incoming Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Muhammad V. As he was walking out of the courtroom, Anwar managed to squeeze in statements on the current issues to the press.
Number one, on Myanmar. I said I welcome, of course, the deep stance. But he is a Prime Minister. We expect action, not words. On the second thing, I think this bashing of Tun Mahathir and bashing of DAP is not an answer. You are the government. The loss of Malay reservation land, the loss of saham shares, Malay interests is the responsibility of the government. Jadi, and secondly, the Pakatan, including DAP, has already committed itself to support the provision of the Constitution.
No press conference, please. So she is Najib stronger now. Please, no press conference.
And within UMNO is not an issue. I think with the people, the issue is the price of commodities. Which is a major problem. Inflation is a major problem. Corruption is a major problem. We have not addressed the MDB issue. So I think these are the substantive issues that have not been addressed by the UMNO General Assembly. Assalamualaikum.
Relatives of passengers aboard flight MH370 will themselves comb the beaches of Madagascar this week in the hope of finding debris from the plane. The group is being assisted by Blaine Gibson, an American lawyer who has spent more than a year combing beaches across the region where the plane disappeared. He found part of a wing in Mozambique that authorities confirmed was probably from MH370 and more than 10 pieces of debris in Madagascar, including a seat back.
The only place that debris from Malaysia 370 has been found on the African side of the Southwest Indian Ocean. Mauritius, Rodriguez, South Africa, Mozambique, Madagascar, La Réunion, Tanzania. None has been found in Australia and Tasmania, all of it on the African side.
Ghislain Watralos, a Frenchman who lost his wife and 2 teenage children on MH370, said he had quit his job as a marketing director to ensure he would one day be able to give his remaining 23-year-old son some answers.
Definitely I will stop searching when I will have a definitive answer. Maybe I will not get it, never, but I think we will get it one day. Because what I think is, I do believe that many peoples in this world have a small part of truth. And I don't think they can still hide it forever. The truth.
In other news, Prime Minister John Key shocked New Zealanders when he announced his resignation on Monday, saying it was time to leave politics after more than 8 years in power.
This has been the hardest decision I've ever made, and I don't know what I'll do next. But for me, this feels the right time to go. It gives the Cabinet and caucus plenty of time to settle in with a new leader before heading into the next election.
The National Party caucus will hold a meeting on December 12th to decide the new party leader and Prime Minister. Key said he would vote for his Deputy and Finance Minister Bill English to take over if he decided to stand. Meanwhile, in Rome, Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi announced his resignation after just 2.5 years in office following a crushing defeat in a referendum on constitutional reform.
Il no ha vinto in modo straordinariamente netto. Ai leader del fronte del no le mie congratulazioni. Il mio augurio di buon lavoro nell'interesse del Paese, nell'interesse dell'Italia e degli italiani.
Renzi's resignation could open the door to early elections next year, raising the possibility of a win by the anti-Euro 5-star movement. The US Army Corps of Engineers nixed plans for a controversial oil pipeline crossing in North Dakota, a major victory for Native Americans and environmentalists who have staged months of protests.
This lifted my heart. You know, we came down here from Washington State to support these brave water protectors, and we came in yesterday expecting the worst, but this is the best news that I've heard forever.
People have come to this place to recognize that we have agency. You know, we have power. And when we come together, we recognize it's easier to share. It's easier to share than it is to take away, you know? Sharing is so much easier. I just got a kiss from that guy. Yeah. This is easy. I just stood here.
The pipeline had been set to cross under the Missouri River and man-made Lake Ohi, which are drinking water sources for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Universal Pictures released the first trailer for its reboot of The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise, Annabelle Wallis and Russell Crowe. While Brendan Fraser's Mummy trilogy served as swashbuckling-style movies, the franchise, produced by Fast and Furious Chris Morgan, is moving back to its horror roots. The Mummy hits theatres in June 2017.
And that's all from us. Good night.